This is the first time I'm going to say this on, like, on a public forum. Beggars can't be choosers. So, like, God has blessed my mom in that manner ki just at the time of choosing, she chose to, she chose me. And touch wood, both of us came out absolutely fine. Yeah, and that's the day she named me Jaan. She's like, loud and clear, everyone listen to me very carefully. Bigg Boss is not scripted. I was like, what have you done? This is horrid. And I was proudly showing her like video call, pe like, see man, I got pants and all. She's like, just man, just stop it. This is so gross what you've done. And then, बाद में when I went to colors, मेरे आधे कपड़े ही निकाल दिए उन्होंने. मैं बोल रहा हूँ यार, बचा ही नहीं कुछ, क्या पहनूंगा मैं? नहीं, so TV के लिए you have a different color dress code. Yeah. Which
Hi Jaan, I'm so happy to have you on the show and you're looking amazing. Like, look at your transformation. How did you do that?
I work out, yeah. Workout, lot of workout, lots of workout. And work also has kept me, work demands for you to be in shape, we're singers and singing is not just an oral medium now. It's a visual and an oral medium. So you gotta look good and you gotta perform better.
Yeah.
So I think these two things have kept me in shape again.
So now I think you're becoming this heartthrob of the nation.
That's sweet. That's sweet, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what, Jaan, of course, a lot of people know you and they love your music and everything. We saw you in the Bigg Boss house. But हम शुरू से शुरुआत करना चाहते हैं. Like, we really want to know your childhood, where you were born, your college days, everything. Like, it's like an autobiography by Jaan KUMAR SAANU. Let's do that. Are you ready for that?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah. All right. So, starting with your journey, as in, where were you born, where were you raised, your college, school, your friends, how was your childhood? How was it like?
I've had this, I've had an amazing childhood. It's been very normal and I'm very grateful that it's been a normal childhood, because one of the first and most important values that was taught to me by my mom was staying on the ground. And
Be
that's
rooted.
one of the, sorry?
Be rooted.
Yeah, being rooted, yeah. And I was born in Mumbai. I've been born and brought up in Mumbai.
Acha.
Yeah, I've been born and raised in Mumbai. I was a student in Manikji Cooper. And then I shifted to Jamnabai and RC.
Yes.
And I was classmates with Alia.
Alia is also Jamnabai. Jamnabai, that's all.
So Alia, there was this group, that filmy group was there. Alia was there in it. Akansha, Ranjan, we used to call her Kanchi. And all of these people were there. So Jamnabai was 8th, 9th and 10th. And there I got my first taste of, what Bollywood kids are like, because I've never grown in that space.
Okay.
I've had, as I told you before, I've had a very normal childhood, very normal upbringing. I've had I've been blessed with an amazing mother. And like, that's why my mom is on one side and the whole world is on one side, because that lady is the only constant that has been in my life. So she's raised 3 amazing boys, with 3 brothers. I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yeah.
Lovely.
My elder brother is Jesse.
And
the second brother Zico, and then there's me.
What
all
do they do?
unique names.
Yeah, all unique
yeah,
names.
They've chosen some amazing names for us.
And you're the Jaan of the family.
Yes. The name Jaan has come from my mom, actually.
Acha.
So she was having a very hard time during my birth, and there were these family issues and stuff going on.
Yes.
And the doctor sort of told her that during her pregnancy, he told her that, one of y'all is going to make it. It's either going to be you or it's going to be your son.
It was that complicated?
Yeah, it was really, really hard. It was a really hard time. And during that time, my mom had to choose between, her own self and me. But I don't know what, maybe my mom, God has blessed my mom in that manner ki just at the time of choosing, she chose to she chose me, and touch wood, both of us came out absolutely fine.
Very good.
Yeah, and that's the day she named me Jaan. She's like, he's my Jaan.
So that's
He's the reason
story.
that I'm still here. So that's where Jaan has come from.
Wow. Not a lot of people know. I think this is the first time you're revealing something like this.
In this much detail, yeah. Because usually it's just like thoda sa bol ke. But yeah, that's how the story of my names come. And I think it's a very unique name.
Yeah.
I've never met someone called Jaan.
Yeah.
You use it as a connotation or like, as a,
Or maybe
as a
in
term
love
of
affair,
endearment.
in love affair we say
as
Jaan.
a term of endearment, you call your better half Jaan.
Yeah.
Something
So
like
your
that.
girlfriend's going to call you Jaan, like Jaan Square.
No, my girlfriend will have to find out some new name because everyone's going to call me Jaan. So she's got to take out do some thinking and find a new name, that's unique for her. Yeah.
That makes me question you. Are you dating someone?
No.
No?
I'm not.
Your facial expression is saying that you're lying.
I'm not
That
actually.
pause now in between.
No, I knew the question was
that
coming.
That means you're thinking. Let yourself, lose it up yourself.
I saw the question coming from a mile away. I'm not dating anyone.
Okay.
And honestly, that's not the area of focus currently. Yes. Currently, it's all about my work, my family, and my close people. I have this set of people that I really love and care about. And it's just about just about that much for now. We'll see. Baad mein. If Jaan gets a Jaan.
Jaan gets a Jaan. I hope that happens soon. So yeah, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I just want to talk a little bit about your dad's side as well, because when you were in your mom's womb and that was a time when your dad got separated from your mother and of course अभी आप ये बात मुझे बता रहे हैं कि इतना complication था जब भी आप मम्मा your mom was pregnant with you. So आपको जब ये सारी बातें आपकी माँ ने बताई, जैसे जैसे आस्ते आस्ते आप बड़े हुए, आपकी माँ ने जब आपसे इन बातों का जिक्र किया, आपका क्या रिएक्शन था?
Honestly, my mom never let me get affected by this stuff. She has never conveyed this stuff to me in a manner where it will, have an impact. She's cushioned it for me. Like every parent wouldn't want discomfort for their child. So she's cushioned that entire thing for me in a very beautiful manner. And growing up, honestly, in some ways I feel I'm blessed for this. There are few things that have happened in my life since much before I've gained consciousness, which make me feel that I'm blessed. And one of the biggest things is that, as you just mentioned before, before I was born, I was just in my mom's stomach. My parents split up. So I never really had dad growing around, growing up. I never had my dad around me. But it's very, I would say, I would use the term irony here, because my elder brother and my second brother, they had certain years that they could spend with my father.
Yeah.
And I never had that opportunity, but I'm the only one who's gone into his line of work.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was predestined. Maybe God has something written, something. So I feel that I'm a blessed child because I was the only one who went into the line of work that my father chose. And somehow, I don't know why, I feel blood is actually thicker than water, because I started singing long before I got to know who my dad is, the full reality of it. Yeah. I started singing much before I actually knew that, okay, your father's a legend. He's a legendary artist and he's one of the stalwarts of the world, I would say. So I didn't have a clue about it. I just started singing because singing was like breathing to me.
Right.
And I actually sang before I spoke.
To your father?
Yeah. No, I sang. I literally sang Jai Ganesh, the bhajan Jai Ganesh. Those were my first words.
At what age?
Ever. At 2.
At 2?
Yeah, at 2. I literally sang without talking, because I don't know, but that's what my mom told me. I sang before I spoke. So I think some ways or the other, I think I'm blessed for this reason, because there are a lot of things that have happened. They shouldn't have happened. It's out of the norm. Normalcy se bahut dur hai. But somehow it's made sense into my life and it's made its place. And coming back to the question that you asked me, I never had a reaction to this because you know what happens is, and I mean this in the most respectful manner because everyone has their own choice.
Right.
You cannot have any kind of feeling towards something that does not exist in your life. If you do not have that presence only,
Right.
you cannot feel anger, love, or any kind of emotion. Like imagine this, today I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
Before this, we've never met.
Right.
How would I tell you what you feel for me? Tell me what you feel for me. When you have no idea about my existence around you,
Yes.
or you know any manner in which that have affected you, you wouldn't have a reaction. So I didn't have a reaction to all this. I was like, okay, he's my dad, that's great, that's amazing.
So, what was that time when you met your dad for the very first time? Do you remember that? Can you recall
Yeah,
that?
very vividly,
Okay.
very vividly. So I was 4 years old, and I started training in Hindustani classical at the age of 3.
Okay.
That's when I started. It was 2 or 3, like it was an overlap. I don't remember that much. My mom told me much of this, but I remember this memory very well. I was in my Guruji's lap, Rinku Das Gupta. He's my first guru, and he is more like a mama to me than my guru because literally वो मुझे गोद में बिठा के गाना सिखाते थे.
Okay.
So there is a different love over there. And I was in Mama's lap and we had gone for this Durga Puja. Abhijit Bhattacharya's Durga
Yeah,
Puja.
Lokhandwala.
Lokhandwala, yes. And वहाँ पर I saw my dad for the first time
Really?
on the stage. I remember very vividly.
The meeting was not planned.
It was just
impromptu.
Yeah, and it was just there. And I remember it. I don't know. I was too young to remember this stuff, but I remember it very vividly. Dad was wearing this black suit, which was a sparkly black suit,
Yeah.
and he was singing "Tere Dar Par Sanam." That is the first time I saw my dad, and I saw him in his element. Like you know, he's
Yeah.
belting out these numbers, and the first song that I entered while he was singing was "Tere Dar Par Sanam," and I was like, I was starstruck, I would say, because to see him in his, you know, the stage is his playground, right? So he is like the lion over there. And I saw him and I was like, yeah, man, this is what you want to do in your life. I think this is it. And that was my first
You were
time.
so awestruck.
I was absolutely awestruck. I was like, wow, that's my earliest, and I think it was probably the first recollection of my memories with my father.
And then you met him in person.
And then I met him in person. Yeah, then I met him in person. Then there was this small phase where, you know, me and my brothers, we would meet dad, and it was very, as I said, you know, there was never the hardships of the childhood were never made that prominently felt in my life because of my mom.
So I think initially he was being embracive of you and all the children. Things did go a little haywire, but with time I think, maybe that's what I can speculate maybe. But initially I think things were, at least he was nice with you and children.
Dad has always been nice with me. Actually, I won't lie to gain clout. I won't say anything that is not true. But the interaction that has been there with my father has been very formal.
Okay.
It's not really a father-son interaction. It's more of a, I think the word I would use is formal to, you know, sum it up. And after a point, you know, we all got busy with our own lives. We grew up and like, you know, maybe we didn't see the distance becoming bigger and bigger, but it happened.
But Jaan, जैसे आपकी previous interviews में हमने देखा है जहाँ, you know, I could see a lot of anger, lot of anger you had for your dad, towards your dad for sure, and in retaliation maybe, or maybe he initiated, I don't know where things came from, but yeah, your dad was equally being, you know, he was retaliating too, you know, and saying some of the things that I don't think you would like to listen about yourself. एंड आपने भी कुछ ऐसी ही बातें कही उनके बारे में जो वो एज फादर नहीं सुनना चाहेंगे. बट उनका एक इंटरव्यू मुझे याद है जो उन्होंने सिद्धार्थ करण के साथ किया था, जहाँ वो ये कहते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं कि मैं हमेशा उसके साथ था, मैंने काफ़ी सारे म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर्स के पास मैं लेकर गया हूँ, उसके लिए मैंने बात किया है, सपोर्ट किया है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी अगर वो बिग बॉस के हाउस में जाकर या कहीं भी पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म पर मेरे बारे में, अगर अपने पिता के बारे में इस तरीके की बातें उनका बेटा करेगा तो बुरा तो लगेगा. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो आपसे नाराज है. मे बी आप नादानी में कुछ ऐसा कह गए. ये कुछ सालों पुरानी बात है, 3-4 साल पुरानी इंटरव्यूज की बात.
No, the one that you're talking about is I think it's a very recent one, the Sid Kanan one, because Sid के साथ मेरी भी एक हुई थी.
Yeah.
It was a month. It was a 15-day
4
gap.
months back. 4 months back, your dad.
Yes,
gave
and
interview.
it was a 15-day difference between the interview I had with Sid and the interview Dad had with Sid.
Yeah. So in this recent interview, your dad was saying कि अगर वो मेरे बारे में कुछ बातें ऐसी कह रही तो मुझे बुरा लगता है. पहले फर्क पड़ता था, अब नहीं पड़ता है. तो आप इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे क्या कहना चाहेंगे अपने डैड को? क्या वो सारे पुरानी जो बातें हैं, गुस्सा है, जो भी कंफ्यूजन, उसको हटा, आप प्लीज बोले, दिल खोल कर बोले.
See, I'm 29 now. I am going to turn 30 in April. Now, what happens is when you're at a certain age, as Dad said, you know, पहले फर्क पड़ता था, अब नहीं पड़ता. Similarly, for me as well, I would say कि when I initially, so Bigg Boss was the moment, the turning point between mine and Dad's relationship becoming a bit, you know, tensed.
Okay.
Bigg Boss was the point because that was the first time that I had gained a public platform to voice my, you know, whatever opinion. People didn't even know I existed before Bigg Boss, honestly. Yeah, people had no idea that, you know, Kumar Sanu has a son and he's a singer.
True, true.
And let alone one son, he has 3 sons. Like we are 3 brothers. So when I went to Bigg Boss, that was the first time that I had a public voice. People were keen to listen to what I had to say because it was like finding fire. People had just found out that, you know, there's someone called Jaan. And whatever I said, whatever I've said in my interviews, whatever I've said in the past, I honestly, I have nothing to correct in that or, you know, rectify in that because I'll tell you why. That was just a son showing his angst or his feelings towards a father. There was no ulterior motive. There was a few complaints that were withheld inside, and I was 26 when I went to Bigg Boss. I was 26. I'm 29 today. I was 26. So I never really got a platform or not even going to say platform, I never really got the opportunity to talk to my dad.
And you also said that, you know, he has been reluctant enough to meet you or to talk to you or give his time to you. You wanted that father figure.
Honestly, I didn't want it. I got to know that this stuff exists once I entered this field. Because for me, honestly, my mother and father is my mom only. As I told you, mentioned it before, you cannot have any feelings towards something that you don't know exists only. Today, it's like, imagine this, I ask you, what do you think about an alien? Or what do you think about something that you have no idea about, you know?
पर आपने पूछा तो जरूर होगा ना अपनी माँ से कि मेरे पिता कौन है? Who is my father, mama?
नहीं, definitely पिता कौन है, वो तो बहुत young है. इस पे 8 साल की उम्र में मेरे को ये full realization hit किया कि okay, you're the son of someone who's an absolutely stellar artist. Like that man, my father, he's my father aside. I am a Kumar Sanu fan. And I think everyone in this room can agree with me that all of you are Kumar Sanu fans because the singing, the work that my father's done as an artist, it's untouchable. Touch wood, like honest to God, I am in awe of that man as an artist. But at the same time, I'm not just someone else. I'm actually related to him. So I can hold a certain number of feelings for my father. And when back in those interviews, a lot of things were misconstrued and like, you know, editing magic and all that, whatever it is. Things were mixed up and like, you know, the order of things that was said in a way that was said, that was also like, you know, whatever it was. I honestly would have appreciated if my dad would have reached out to me directly because I did. I did try to reach out to my father and talk to him one-on-one, you know, this is not something that you air out in public. If you want to talk, I'm your son. you're my father at the end of the day. You know, you have every right to just pick up the phone, tell me, listen,
Correct.
we're going for dinner, we're going out, you're coming home, we're going to meet, we're going to sort this out. And I tried that, it didn't happen. And after a point, you know, you stop trying. Because if you see, like, you know, you see the party on the other end, and in this case it's my father, if you see that it's a very unresponsive
You were
action.
putting in effort, but
I did try, I'm telling you today, yeah,
he
I
was
did
not
try.
reciprocating in
That
the same
wasn't
manner.
reciprocating, he was, there were times when it was pretty obvious that I was being avoided.
Okay.
So I figured after a point that maybe he's not comfortable to, you know, talk all this stuff, and maybe there's a very big gap that, you know, needs to be like shortened or like, you know, decreased. But to do that, you need to talk. You cannot just
Communication is the key.
is key, exactly, and that couldn't happen. So things just went really spiraled out of control, and like, you know, people had started making their opinion. I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of hate on this front, because obviously if you're a Kumar Sanu fan, which even I am, you will want to defend your idol, or you know, the person that you are in so much in love with, his work. So I got a lot of messages, and I got a lot of hate, you know, Instagram, Facebook, and all these social media forums, and even in person, like, you know, whenever I used to meet anyone, it was like, you know, always, and obviously dad is a magnanimously huge figure, so the odds will always be there in his favor, because I'm just trying to make my, you know, I'm just stepping into the industry now, and I'm a nobody. Honestly, I'm a nobody. I'm trying to be a somebody, and it was like, you know, it was like I was going against David and Goliath would be a good example over here. Like, you know, something very small was made to forcefully go head on with something that is very, very big. And the something small was me,
Yeah.
and the huge thing, that was my father. So that things just went, you know, thoda हड़बड़ हो गया, मतलब गड़बड़ हो गया. And उसके बाद he didn't, after a point I also didn't try, and after a point he also didn't try, and I think it's just a sit down. We just need to have a sit down. I think it's just one sit down, and there'll be a lot of issues
So
that
you
we
find
can
it
clear.
very formal. आपकी बातों से मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि you and your dad, you guys meet up for sure, but बहुत formal होता है वो setup.
We used to. The last I met my father was before Bigg Boss. Yeah. The last time I met him was before Bigg Boss. And
Was he being good to you?
first he was reluctant. So the purpose of meeting me was to ask me ki why I'm taking this step. Why I'm going to Bigg Boss out of all shows. Because I'm sure every one of us knows what goes on in Bigg Boss.
Okay.
It's
And
a
of course
very...
he didn't want you to go.
And
He
he
was not
didn't-
happy with the fact that you're going to the
Yeah,
Bigg Boss house.
but I'll be very honest. This is the first time I'm going to say this on, like, you know, on a public forum.
Okay.
Beggars can't be choosers. So I had to take a decision, and Bigg Boss was a very big opportunity for me.
Yes.
And honestly, after trying for so many years, you know, you try out on a lot of places and all, and without the support of someone who can easily, like, you know, just like make a few phone calls and like, you know, change your life. If he would have done that, Dad claims to have called music composer. I get it. I get all of that. But you tell me, as a common person, as a, like, you know, as a someone who has, as a sentient being with logic, you tell me, voluntarily, would someone who is the son of such a big person, would you voluntarily go into Bigg Boss as your first option?
No.
That is your answer. I had tried everywhere, I have tried everything, and then suddenly lockdown just happened, COVID happened, and everything was, you know, the world was absolutely shut. And then this ray of hope, this silver lining to the cloud was Bigg Boss for me. And when that opportunity came, I said no, honestly, because I knew.
You said no?
Yeah, I said no.
Initially
Because
you said no?
yeah, because I told my mom, I don't think I'm going to do this because I'm not made for that house. That house and me, it's like, you know, honestly, I'm a very simple person. I'm simple to the point of boring. You ask my friends, they'll tell you I'm the most boring person on the planet because I don't like going out for parties. Even she knows this for a fact. She's told me also that I'm surprised to see you. I don't go out for parties or events and all because मैं अपने म्यूजिक में ही रहा हूँ पूरे लाइफ में. मेरी हॉबीज भी म्यूजिक ही है. That's the funny part. So for me, when that Bigg Boss thing happened, I was like, yeah, this is not just not my game. This is something that I will not even dream of doing.
Yeah.
But then my mom, she told me, listen, you've been trying for so many years. You've really, I've had my struggles. I've had a lot of struggles. And you've been trying to do this stuff by yourself. Finally, God has given you an avenue.
Yes.
And it involves the biggest Bollywood star, that is Salman sir.
Yeah.
So, my whole goal of going into Bigg Boss was just to gain an audience with Salman sir, because before that I have tried for, I was 26, I tried for 11 years to meet Salman sir.
Really?
Yes, I've tried for 11 years to meet Salman sir, and not just Salman sir, my struggle in the industry started at 16.
At 16?
Yeah, proper struggle. So I'd gone to meet this very big composer without informing, because मेरे को उतना भी नहीं पता था कि आपको अपॉइंटमेंट लेके जाना होता है. मुझे कोई आइडिया ही नहीं था. मैं तो दरवाज़ों के बाहर खड़े रहता था लोगों के, साल दर साल. तो एक बार क्या हुआ ना, 16 years की एज पे आई वेंट टू मीट अ वेरी बिग कंपोजर, एंड I don't know what God, God was kind to me that day or something, that he was there in the studio.
Oh, your dad was in the studio?
No. The composer was there in the studio.
Okay.
And I went with my mom. Because a 16-year-old guy, I had no idea about the world. My mom was like, नहीं साथ में तू struggle करने जाएगा तो मैं तेरे साथ चलूँगी. Always. My mom has always been there with me. So we went to the studio and we waited for like 4-5 hours. And वो मिले ही नहीं हमसे.
अच्छा.
और मेरे को ये चल गया, मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी. But then I saw my mom now. I was like, यार, this lady doesn't deserve this rejection. This is my fight. This is my struggle. Why should she face my rejection? So that 16 के age पे, I told mom, like, listen, please, enough. You've done enough. Now let me go out on my own. I don't want you to see me getting rejected, and that no child wants to see their mother unhappy, I would say. So I didn't want that I saw that face of my mom. It's still imprinted in my face, in my head. Yeah. So I told my mom, listen, you don't come for this with me. Let me do it on my own. Because I can't take this, man. I'll lose my cool on the म्यूजिक कंपोजर, जबकि मैं हूँ भी नहीं कोई, बट मेरी माँ के लिए मैं उनसे भी लड़ लूंगा तो मेरे लिए भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी,
बिल्कुल,
एंड उनके लिए भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, और आपके लिए भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, तो आप मेरे को अकेले करने दो. तो 16 से 26 तक आई हैव gone to every door, I've knocked on every door, and I've so many places I've not even gotten entry.
Really?
And then I've slept in, I've said this in my TED talk as well, that was there in Jaan. I've slept in garages, I've slept in on staircases, building staircases, and not just one night. I've slept on garages and building staircases for years.
Really?
Yes, for years, and not just once. I've done it in multiple places.
So why would that happen?
Because I did not have. I was just a commoner. I was just a commoner, and honestly, when you go to meet such big people, I don't think they have the time also to entertain everybody. So I was just one of the, by the ways, and one of the, हाँ ठीक है, one of another singer is come, ठीक है, तो वो मिलते भी नहीं थे. And then from that entire 10-year struggle phase, suddenly I got Bigg Boss, and I was very scared about it. I'm like, listen, mom, this is not happening, मेरे को समझ नहीं आएगा. Then my mom put some sense into me. She's like, this is what you've been waiting for, a public platform to showcase your talent. This is it.
Yeah.
And plus, तू सलमान सर से मिलेगा. That, and honestly, वो सलमान सर से मिलेगा बात जो मेरी मॉम ने बोली ना, फिर मेरे को बिग बॉस का वो टेंशन ही खत्म हो गया. लाइक भाई, बिग बॉस में तू कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएगा, कम से कम सलमान सर से तो मिलेगा. And as a fan, I wanted to meet him, because obviously, man, who's not a fan of Salman Khan, so I was like, shit, man, Salman Khan will get to know that there's someone called Jaan. So I said yes to that. And
your
then
mom brainwashed you.
Yeah, my mom I wouldn't say brainwashed me, she made me see sense.
Yeah, made sense.
Yeah, and then I got a call from my dad just before Bigg Boss mein ghus raha hu main, and the news.
Your dad got to know.
The announcements started buzzing in the industry, and my dad got to know, and he called me. He's like, listen, you're going to Bigg Boss or what? I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. He's like, I don't want you to go.
Okay.
So I was like, why? You know what happens on that show? I said, what happens? I know. झगड़े वगड़े होते हैं ना, ठीक है. They know, I want to meet you, I want to talk to you. You meet me. So then before going into Bigg Boss, I met my dad. And Dad tried to tell me, you know, this is not a good idea, that you should go. And I told him the same thing that I felt, and I told him, you know, it's been a while I've been struggling.
You told him that?
Yeah, I told him, Babai, it's been a while. I call him Babai.
Bye
So I told him, Babai, it's been a while, and first time ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है जिसमें इतना बड़ा platform मिल रहा है. And honestly, I'm a nobody. I had 1,039 followers on Instagram, and I wasn't even blue tick verified and all.
Okay.
When I was selected for Bigg Boss, so Colors, they are so helpful. They literally made an entire campaign so that people get to know who this dude is that we are getting into Bigg Boss. In the history of Bigg Boss, this is the first time that they pre-announced an entire, like, you know, they pre-announced a contestant. They revealed a contestant. So that people would be aware that there's someone called Jaan Kumar Sanu and he exists. And all of that, I told my dad, I'm like, you know, people are knowing me. People are coming to know I am there, and, like, you know, people are appreciating my work and all. Why wouldn't you want me to?
I think he should have been happy.
Yeah, but then now that I realized, I figured that, you know, he didn't want these things to come into.
He didn't want you to, you know, overshare certain things.
Not me. I think he didn't want this entire conversation to come out in the, you know, on a public forum.
Yeah.
And then Dad told me, you know, if you're going, make sure there are certain things that you don't do, and, you know, if people ask you about that. And then I honestly, as I told you before, Bigg Boss, it's like, you know, it's like you're training as a student, and then the first paper you give is an IIT paper. That's Bigg Boss. So without giving your 10th, your 12th, your, you know, entrances and all, सीधा IIT paper में बैठ गया मैं. And that was Bigg Boss for me. वहाँ पे मैंने literally देखा कि दुनिया क्या है. Yeah, that's the longest I've stayed away from my house, by the way. 2 months, that's it. Because I've always been at home, busy with my music. So I'm a very homebody kind of a person.
So
like,
you were in the house for how long?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good period of time. मतलब,
Now the funny part is I had packed for 1 week.
Huh?
I had packed for 1 week.
Oh, you had packed for 1
I had
week.
packed for 1
Oh my
week.
God.
Yeah, this is something I can say. Even my, like, you know, my, मेरे को तो पहली बार Bigg Boss में जाके पता चला टीम भी होता है कुछ. You know कि टीम क्या होता है. आज ये सब चीजें very, like, you know, normal लगती है, but वो टाइम पे मेरे लिए था कि अच्छा स्टाइलिस्ट भी होता है. स्टाइलिस्ट का काम क्या होता है? तो the team is like, bro, स्टाइलिस्ट क्या एक्सप्लेन करना है यार? स्टाइलिस्ट will style you. I'm like,
It seems like you're so naive.
I was very naive. I was unaware about this entire part of the world because I was never given access into that place. I was shooed away from the door. So I never got inside this place till Bigg Boss happened. And once I got into Bigg Boss, I got to know there's something called PR.
Okay.
Which I had no idea about. Yeah, there's something called PR which I didn't know. Then there was something, PR also had 2 categories, digital and print. ये भी मेरे को पहले बार पता चला. फिर मेरे को पता चला स्टाइलिस्ट क्या होता है. फिर मेरे को पता चला कि कपड़ों का भी एक कोलैबोरेशन होता है जिसमें people give you clothes for free.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to wear them. So, and you're not, and that's it. So all of this came to me after I entered Bigg Boss, and then Bigg Boss में जाके the most stupid thing that any guy can do, that should tell you how much of a social body I am. The day I got selected in Bigg Boss, I took $50,000 जो मैंने खुद जमाए थे. And मैं mom को call किया मैंने, and I told her, my mom was in Calcutta. I told her, listen, I'm going shopping. She's like, you're mad? You know what shopping is? देखो तेरे कपड़े का साइज भी पता है जो तू ये बोल रहा है. Because everything Ma used to do, I never had an idea. मैं सिर्फ अपने म्यूजिक में ही
Pampered child.
No, not pampered. Unaware and uninterested.
अच्छा.
I never was
कुछ भी खा लूँगा, कुछ भी पहन
चलेगा.
लूँगा,
मुझे हाँ मुझे म्यूजिक में ही मैं खुश रहूँगा and all. मेरे को आइडिया ही नहीं था कि इतना कुछ होता है. तो my mom is like, shopping जा रहे हैं. I'm like, yeah. She's like, ठीक है, tell me what you buy. I went to this, I'm sure, can I take brand names? Is it fine?
Yeah.
I went to the jockey store to do my shopping. I went to Jockey. Out of all places, I went to Jockey. And I bought their entire clothing का जो भी था. And सब same. सब same. मतलब literally, और मैं इतना खुश हो रहा हूँ, मेरे को लग रहा है वाह यार, bro आज तू बड़ा हो गया.
So all the
तूने
brands
shopping
went to Jockey.
Yeah, you've done shopping, boss. And where did I shop from? Jockey.
Jockey.
Every t-shirt is the same color. Every pant is the same color. And my mom is like, what have you done? This is horrid. And I was proudly showing her like video call pe like, see man, I got pants and all. She's like, just man, just stop it. This is so gross what you've done. And then बाद में when I went to colors, मेरे आधे कपड़े ही निकाल दिए उन्होंने. मैं बोल रहा हूँ यार बचा ही नहीं है कुछ, क्या पहनूंगा मैं? नहीं, so TV के लिए you have a different color dress code.
Yeah.
Which again, till date I'm unaware about. Look at what I'm wearing is the most basic nonsense that any guy can wear.
Safe color.
Yeah, नहीं safe भी नहीं, black is it. There's no safe or unsafe. जिस मेरे दिमाग में 3 colors है, black, white, grey, बस.
Monochrome.
हाँ, और कुछ नहीं. My wardrobe, my mom is sick of my wardrobe now. So I went to Bigg Boss and they removed half my clothes and I was like, boss, खत्म है तू. अब तो तेरे पास कपड़े ही नहीं पहनने को.
And you didn't have stylist back
And
then.
वो भी एक वीक की पैकिंग में आधा वीक का निकाल दिया वो लोग ने. तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ अभी 5 कपड़े लेके कौन जाएगा अंदर. फिर मेरे को बाद में बोला यार स्टाइलिस्ट नाम की भी एक चीज होती है. Hire a stylist, bro. Then the stylist came in. Then the team came in. Then I got to know अच्छा PR is there. You have to do PR for your Big Boss.
So Big Boss पे जाने से पहले आपको फिर ये सब करना पड़ा.
ये सब जानना पड़ा, सीखना पड़ा.
अच्छा. तो फिर अब ये सब करके गए.
हाँ, फिर मैंने नहीं किया. वापस से again uninterested.
Mama.
Mom.
Mama is like a savior.
Yeah, I'm telling you, mom is my backbone.
So since we are talking about Bigg Boss, I really want to talk about Salman Khan also. You share a good bond with him.
Yeah.
And he was being very appreciative of you and also said that your, आपकी जो परवरिश हुई है, जो कंडीशनिंग है, वो बहुत अच्छी दी गई है. और कहीं ना कहीं पुराने इंटरव्यूज में सुना था कि your dad was somewhere saying उसकी परवरिश अच्छी नहीं है and all of that. He was just saying something. तो मुझे लगा कि मतलब सलमान खान इतने बड़े आर्टिस्ट सुपरस्टार इस सेइंग कि जान तुम इतने अच्छे बेहतरीन इंसान हो और बहुत अच्छी परवरिश दी है, तो माँ नहीं दी है
of course
वो परवरिश, तो आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा मोमेंट रहा होगा for sure.
It was a good moment. It was a very good moment. And so basically the first time I met Salman sir was on a video call. Yeah. As I told you, they did this whole unveiling of the contestants. So again, Salman sir being Salman sir, when I saw him, he was like, we just had that Zoom call thing going on and it was a full video CGI setup that was there because COVID tha tabhi, so we couldn't, meet up in person. And I saw Salman sir, I still remember, blue color ka suit, black shirt, and there was this big green screen. And Salman sir was walking in the middle of it and he was on a call or something and the call was muted. I saw Salman sir and my heart rate just like zoop, gone up, and my mom is also sitting in one corner because वो camera पे आ नहीं सकती, वो लोग ने frame ऐसा set up किया. Yeah. So my mom ऐसा था कि the laptop was kept here. I was sitting on the sofa. My mom was sitting here on the ground and my भैया like जो हमारे साथ रहते हैं, he works for us. He was sitting here ताकि कैमरा के फ्रेम में दोनों नहीं आ जाए एंड दोनों ऐसे ऐसे करके ताड़ रहे और मैं बीच में ऐसे बैठा हूँ जैसे कि कुछ नहीं हुआ है एंड मैं पसीने में मतलब गीला हो चुका हूँ बिकॉज आई जस्ट नो दैट दिस इज सलमान खान, ही इज द सलमान खान. एंड देन द कैमरा, द वॉइस रिकॉर्ड द म्यूट वो लोग हटाते हैं म्यूट को एंड ऑल, एंड सलमान सर कम्स टू द कैमरा एंड इज लाइक, और जान, how are you feeling? And that was it. I was like, oh bro, answer. And then I was just quiet for 10 seconds. I made it so awkward because I couldn't speak. And then after 10 seconds, he's like, bolo, tumko bolna hai. It's your chance to speak. And I was like, sir, I'm great. And then that's how, we started talking.
Yeah.
When I met him on set, he understood I'm very nervous because I'm my entry performance and then sir was supposed to come. So my legs were really shaking, like physically it was visible and 2-3 बार मतलब they cancelled the shot also. They were like, यार आपके पैर क्यों काँप रहे हैं, मतलब perform कर रहे हो आपके पैर काँप रहे हैं, ये कैसे हो सकता है, आप थोड़ा stable हो जाओ. And I'm like, I can't explain to them also कि why I'm trembling or what it is because I don't know where Salman sir is on the set. And Salman sir likes to have his fun. Like he if अगर वो देख रहे ना कि if you're nervous something, वो मजे लेने में उनको थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है. तो मेरे को पता था कि sir is on set, but where he is I don't know. So I can't just blab out on the mic. I'm trembling because Salman sir. I was like playing it cool and all. Then Salman sir came. My mouth dried up on stage, and I'm like, oh God, this is just the worst thing to happen. And then he's talking to me. I'm constantly like, hyperventilating because I can't believe I'm standing next to Salman Khan and I've never met him in my life. Like I've tried so many times but मेरे को मिलने का मौका ही नहीं मिला था. And पहली बार जो मिल रहा हूँ मैं पूरे देश के सामने मिल रहा हूँ. So that nervousness was on another level. Then we went into the house. Then every weekend, Salman sir would come for the weekend का वार episode. कमाल, मतलब सर ने कभी ऐसा लगा ही नहीं मुझे कि I'm talking to someone who is this big a celebrity. I wouldn't call him a celebrity. I would say like a mega star is the proper term to like address Salman sir as. And then Salman sir over the weeks, he became more friendly and like he was fond of me. And then multiple times he said that your upbringing, it's very solid and I love it. Like he said this off camera also, and that's when I felt like nahi, yeah bro, you're a good person. If someone so big is saying it, then it makes sense. And then cut to that, the dad ka, what you said. And dad went absolutely reverse pain. Like, he went ulta. He's like, parvarish achhi nahi and all. But I never replied to that video. If you must have noticed, I never replied to that interview. I want to say one thing only.
No reaction is also a reaction.
Exactly. And honestly, if you think about it, if you have, how can you comment on something that you've not been around?
Yes.
You don't know me.
Right.
How can you say that I have a bad parvarish or a good parvarish even for that matter? जब आप थे ही नहीं, तो आप कैसे बोल सकते हो? And then he put in a clarifying का video also बाद में. If you've seen that, I don't know. He's put a video where he said ki no, Jaan has got a very good upbringing and parvarish and all. Because I don't know what has happened, but maybe
your dad, KUMAR SAANU?
Yeah.
Okay,
he put a video after that, like within 5 or 6 hours of it.
Must have realized, no?
Yeah, because the people also were like, कि यार sir, आप कैसे बोल सकते हो ये? So there was a bit of a backlash in both.
Controversies तो बहुत होती
हाँ, on both ends it was there, but then dad put a video also saying कि नहीं, he's a very good ये. But मुझे जो थप्पा लगना था वो मेरे को सलमान सर ने दे दिया था, on national television, and I was very happy with it.
Nothing gets better than that.
Exactly. So I chose not to react to that video. I was like, ठीक है, आपका opinion, ठीक है, it's fine.
So Bigg Boss के घर में कुछ ऐसी चीजें आप बताएं जो हमारे audience को आप बताना चाहेंगे. Would you like to go there again if given a chance?
No.
No?
I would love to go there for my song promotions, and for any kind of a guest appearance or something. But as a contestant,
No.
I'm good.
क्यों, क्या हो गया था ऐसा?
So first thing now, since you said that you want to know something that the people don't know, I want to say this out loud and clear. Everyone listen to me very carefully. Bigg Boss is not scripted. Lot of people have asked me
That's a lot
this.
of people think that it's scripted.
Yes. A lot of people asked me after I got out of the house. They were like, is it scripted? Is it this? Bigg Boss is not scripted. That place is not for the faint of heart. You have got to be made of something else if you want to survive in that house. Because what happens after a point, even if you hate a person, if you're outside in your house or, if you're outside in the world, you hate someone, just move away from there, like, leave the place. And you put that person out of your mind. In Bigg Boss, even if you hate someone, you have nowhere to go. You've got to be in the same house with the same people and you've got to live with them. So that, it sort of messes with your head after a point. And given the fact that, you're trapped in a house with so many different personalities, you gel with some and you don't gel with some. So all of that stuff is actual, it's real.
So मुद्दे बनाए जाते हैं घर का,
मुद्दे बनाए, I think everyone goes to Bigg Boss with an agenda of, being seen. आपको दिखना जरूरी है.
तो कैसे दिखेंगे?
One of my fellow contestants का famous dialogue was there ना, आप तो दिख ही नहीं रहे हो. Yeah, I know, I think you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, anyways, so that is the whole point, I think people go to Bigg Boss दिखने के लिए ही तो जा रहे हो ना. तो आप अगर मेरे जैसे रहोगे जैसा मैं था, अपने में ही not making issues out of, आप नहीं रह पाओगे. And वहाँ पे मुद्दे बनाना, वही मकसद से तो जा रहे हो आप, कि आप देखो. So then what is the problem? And people are also watching it for that reason only ना. मुद्दे ही तो देखने के लिए आप Bigg Boss देख रहे हो. आपको थोड़ी ना ऐसा है कि मतलब यार पर्सनल लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है मैं देखता हूँ जाके, नहीं, दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, बट द होल एजेंडा ऑफ द बिग बॉस शो इज टू शोकेस पीपल and the topics that are being fought on. So I never had that ability to make muddas, you know. I was like, हाँ ठीक है यार, ठीक है, अपने में रहो, खुश रहो ना. That was what Salman sir was appreciative of. He really loved that. And again, coming back to that, it's not scripted. It makes you do things. That house, after a point, it goes beyond normal. पहले week में ऐसा लगता है, पता है, it takes time to. People are like, wow, everything is great. You know, that full honeymoon phase, yeah. So that's the first week of the house. After the first week, you know, the reality starts settling in slowly.
Yeah.
Things start coming out of people that they've tried to suppress and keep hidden. Then the real people start coming out, and that it can either go very good, because we've seen some wonderful relationships also coming out of Bigg Boss, or it can go very bad. So all of that is genuine. There's no scripting. I don't think the channel has time also to script out this stuff, because फॉलो कौन करेगा यार? आप थोड़ी ना उस कंटेस्टेंट को फॉलो करवा सकते हो गन पॉइंट पे कि नहीं आपको यही बोलना है. कंटेस्टेंट ने बोल दिया, मैं नहीं बोलूँगा.
Are you in touch with any of the fellow contestants?
Yeah. I'm in touch with Ejaz bhai. I'm in touch with Rubina. I'm in touch with Abhinav bhai. Pavitra, Shardul, Naina, of course. And और कौन है मेरे सीजन में? who there? और कोई? Ali, yeah, Ali also I'm in touch with. I'm not in touch with Jasmine. I'm in touch with Ali. Yes. Ali is, and Ali, मतलब अब I know show में बहुत लोगों ने मेरे को ये भी बोला बाद में कि you know Ali was the reason that you got out and all. ठीक है, वो शो में था ना यार. Outside the show he's a wonderful person. मतलब मेरे को जब भी मिलता है ना, there's very good energies that I get from Ali, and I really love him. And I don't care man, शो में जो भी हुआ वो शो में ही रख के आओ ना, बाहर लेके जाके क्या करना. Yeah, so I don't bother with that stuff and all. Yeah, I'm in touch with these people. Yeah. So I'm in touch with Ali also. I'm in touch with Gauhar also. Gauhar Khan. Yes, Gauhar also is, and Gauhar is my favorite forever. She was. I survived in that house now the first 2 weeks. That was all because of Gauhar. Gauhar is something else.
Yeah, I love Gauhar. 2 days back for interview only.
Yeah. And she's amazing.
Yeah, that she is very bold, audacious. I look up to her.
Gauhar would be my ideal definition of इंसान अगर परी होता ना, परी, fairy. Then I would put yes, because Gauhar is, she's something else, and I got to live with Gauhar and Sid and Hina for like 2 weeks. So firstly that was like a fan moment also, and then when I met Gauhar I became a fan in real also.
But you know what, Gauhar also has a personality now as such that she comes across as an intimidating person initially. But when you spend time and get to know them, of course.
Yes, she's absolutely amazing.
आपने सिद्धार्थ शुक्ला के साथ भी टाइम स्पेंड किया था, है ना? तो उनके साथ कुछ ऐसी बात आपको याद है, कुछ ऐसा लेसन, कुछ ऐसी लर्निंग आपने?
Lot of lessons. Sid was the one who used to grill me.
सिद्धार्थ शुक्ला.
Sid used to grill me. Like he didn't like कि मैं इतना ज़्यादा innocent हूँ, and you know इतना straight. मतलब कोई so I have this habit. I see that side of people that I see my best qualities in people. I think that वो मेरे जैसे ही है. And a lot of time, 90% of the times it backfires only. But that 10% is what I feel happy about. कि नहीं यार 10% तो है. And Sid used to hate that. Sid used to grill me all the time. And I am a mad Siddharth Shukla fan, honest to God. And I've said this for like I don't know how many years. And 13th season तो मुझे by heart है. मुझे 13th season of Bigg Boss, I remember that season episode by episode, because never before had I seen a personality like Siddharth Shukla out there, you know. And that man, he literally kept himself out there, and he told the people that, you know, this is what I am. Love me or hate me, I'm not changing. And that made me a mad fan of Siddharth. And then my first interview was with Siddharth.
Okay.
The first time that I met Salman sir was also the first time that I met Siddharth. And Siddharth, एक तो already Salman sir का stress, फिर Siddharth आ गया मेरे से बात करने, and मेरे लिए तो fan girl moment हो गया पूरा कि मतलब oh my god क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ. And जब मैं घर में मिला सिद्धार्थ से, कमाल. सिद्धार्थ मेरी खूब फिरकी लेता था
हाँ.
बिकॉज आई वाज थोड़ा हैवी था मैं, तो सिद्धार्थ मेरी खूब फिरकी लेता था एंड ही यूज्ड टू टेल मी थिंग्स अबाउट द गेम एंड लाइक यू नो ही वुड टेल मी कि ब्रो तू बहुत इजीली ट्रस्ट करता है लोगों पे, तू थोड़ा बी स्मार्ट एंड लाइक यू नो ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड one of the learning things that Sid told me, which again, three people were involved in this whole Jaan ka transformation from 100 kgs coming to 70. Siddharth was one of the first.
Okay.
He gave me this life hack and he told me कि देखो anger issues तो है, जब भी देखो गुस्सा है कुछ भी हो ना, वर्कआउट कर लिया कर जिम में, तो तेरा जो भी रहेगा ना वो वर्कआउट में निकल जाएगा एंड यू विल फील गुड अबाउट इट. एंड बाद में इतना वर्कआउट किया मैंने उधर, क्योंकि मेरे को इतना एंगर था इतने लोगों पे इतना गुस्सा था. और मैं मेरे को पता है एंगर, आई गो टू अ पॉइंट ना, देयर आर टू फेजेस, देयर आर टू स्टेजेस टू माय एंगर. द फर्स्ट वन इज व्हेन आई गो क्वाइट एंड द सेकंड वन इज व्हेन आई गो एब्सोल्युटली ballistic. So that quiet phase was there in Bigg Boss. So I couldn't express that anger to people. So I would just go and I would remember Sid and I would be like, yeah bro, this is working for you, just stick to it. And later on when I've started forgetting a bit of that, you know, that teaching, then Ejaz bhai got me into that again. Like mid season, मेरे season के बीच में Ejaz bhai also, he was like, you know, workout क्यों नहीं करता है, गुस्सा आता है चिल्ला रहा है तू सब पे, वो चल साथ में करते हैं. And then Ejaz bhai, and towards the end also Ali also started. Yeah. So that was one thing that Sid taught me, कि you know, if you are angry, that there's a life hack that you can use, and that is the gym. But Sid taught me much more without actually teaching me through his, you know, 13th season. I learned a lot from it.
Must have been very shocking for you, as everybody was shocked when he passed away, of course.
That is one of the
very hard to process. मतलब आज
I think everyone in the country must have felt like कोई अपना खुद का गया, because Sid हमारा था यार, मतलब.
I felt that with Siddharth and I also felt that with Sushant Singh Rajput. These are two artists and I felt like
very sudden and still not come to terms with it properly.
Absolutely. All right. Now we are going to move into our next segment where we are going to, you have to answer like quickly, like it's going to be like rapid fire maybe.
Oh God.
Okay. No. मजा आएगा, इतना मैंने कोई controversial सवाल नहीं पूछे.
सब पहले ही पूछ लिया आपने.
All right. Do you have any regrets in life?
Yeah, a few. A few.
A few? Would you like to name one? Like mention one?
Can't name.
Really?
They're people.
The people?
They are people. The regrets. So I can't name them.
Okay. Do you have any guilt in life? Like
Guilt,
major guilt?
No.
No?
No.
What's your biggest fear?
This is going to get very serious, but yeah, abandonment.
Huh?
Abandonment.
Abandonment. Is that like
have,
FOMO?
No. I have this fear that people will leave.
People?
Will leave.
Will leave.
Will leave me. I have that fear. It's very deeply rooted, and that's my biggest fear. I'm not scared of any... it's in my head. That's my issue.
Is it because of your dad somewhere?
I don't know.
Like you want a dad figure, you know, that father figure in your life, and being such a legend, and you know, उसके बाद भी इतना struggle करना पड़ा आपको. एक देखो, मानो या ना मानो, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक पिता का सर पे हाथ रहना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है किसी भी बच्चे के लिए.
True.
तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ऐसा समझ में आ रहा है, बाकी आप बेहतर बता सकते हैं.
I don't think I've never really sat down and thought about it actually. Now that you're saying it, I've never really sat down and thought ki why that fear is there, but maybe it might be a part of it. I don't
मैंने
know.
कितने ऐसे देखे हैं जहाँ पे हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ सेपरेट हो जाते हैं, लेकिन को पेरेंटिंग करते हैं बच्चे के साथ, उनका जो व्यवहार होता है वो सही होता है. लेकिन यहाँ पे जिस तरह से आपकी जर्नी देखी है मैंने, कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि just giving my opinion,
That's absolutely
your dad
fine.
should have been little warmer with you, maybe little embracive of you, little supportive of you. All right, moving on to our next question, which is most embarrassing moment of your life, or maybe most embarrassing moment on the stage.
My most embarrassing moment is actually on the stage. Yeah. Oh God, this is going to be funny. एक बार क्या हुआ ना, हम so I was working with I've done a lot of छोटे मोटे स्टार्टिंग के जो होते हैं ना शोज एंड ऑल, तो मुझे कोई सीरियसली ज़्यादा लेता नहीं था. एक मेरे को ना बहुत बड़ा एक ये मिल गया, कॉन्सर्ट मिल गया, जहाँ पर आई वॉज वन ऑफ द फिलर आर्टिस्ट्स. आई वॉज अ फिलर सिंगर फॉर समवन एल्स, and it was at MCA, Mumbai Cricket Association. So the crowd was like, they were like a very high-fi crowd, very elite crowd, and like, creme de la creme. And I was there, I was a kid. I was not a kid, I was like 18 or 19, I don't remember. And it was for Deepak Anandji Shah. Anandji uncle, Kalyanji Anandji.
Yeah.
So Anandji uncle's son.
Okay.
I've interned with uncle also, I've learned from him a lot. सो आनंद जी अंकल के बेटे का, दीपक अंकल का शो था मुंबई क्रिकेट एसोसिएशन में, एंड वो ना कोई पंजाबी वेडिंग था, और मैं बंगाली हूँ, मुझे है खाने से प्यार. तो शो पे स्टेज पे जाने का टाइम ना 2 घंटे लेट हो गया. मैंने क्या किया, मैंने बोला यार भूख लग रही है वो, चलो खा लेते हैं. एंड इट्स अ पंजाबी वेडिंग, मतलब खाना तो आप सोच ही लो क्या ही होगा, और मैं ऐसे भी फूडी हूँ. मैंने इतना खा लिया, मैं एकदम है ना मतलब ऐसे फैल गया. फिर मतलब आई वाज लाइक ब्रो बहुत ज़्यादा खा लिया. एंड फिर जैसे ही मेरा खाना खत्म हुआ है ना, दीपा अंकल्स कॉल्ड मी, इट्स टाइम फॉर यू टू गो ऑन स्टेज. एंड आई डिडंट थिंक, मैंने सोचा नहीं, मैं बोला हाँ ठीक है गाना है ना, चलते हैं. मैं गया स्टेज पे, एंड मैंने ना वो गाना है, इट्स दैट सॉन्ग इज ना, सुन रहा है ना तू,
दैट्स अ डिफिकल्ट सॉन्ग,
आशिकी टू, या तो दैट वाज माय एंट्री सॉन्ग. एंड उसमें शुरू में एक पार्ट है, इट गोज लाइक अपने करम की कारागा है, एंड दैट नोट इज केप्ट लाइक यू आर सपोज्ड टू होल्ड दैट नोट फॉर अ गुड लॉन्ग अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, एंड दैट वाज माय यूएसपी एंट्री, कि मैं 1 मिनट तक ना वो नोट पूरा पकड़ के रखता, एंड आई वुड एंटर एंड पीपल वुड बी लाइक वाओ क्या गा रहा है, कौन है ये. मैंने वो नोट एंटर किया है होल्ड करते हुए, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ दैट नोट, यू नो व्हाट आई हैव डन, आई हैव बर्प्ड ऑन द माइक मैन.
रियली?
माइक पे मैंने बर्प कर दिया है, और माइक साउंड दादा जो थे ना, उन्होंने ना मेरी आवाज़ में मस्त रिवर्ब और एको डाल के रखा था. तो जो मामला खराब हुआ है, मैंने बर्प किया एक बार, वो बर्प सुनाई दिया 8 बार. और वर्स्ट पार्ट ये है कि गाने के वो पार्ट खत्म होते ना, एक सन्नाटा है जहाँ पर हम वेट करते कि ऑडियंस अभी तालियां मारेगी. कोई तालियां ही नहीं बजी है.
Oh my God, this is like
सब बैठ के मेरा बर्प सुन रहे हैं, धाम 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 एको हो रहा है, और मैं वहाँ पे खड़ा हुआ हूँ माइक लेके, and I'm pretending to not acknowledge what has happened because I know if I acknowledge it I'm done.
Oh my God.
And then to make matters worse, ये तो मतलब already मतलब it was the worst that could happen.
Yes.
But then God was like, I'll show you worse than this. Let me just play a prank with you. I see front seat पे आनंद जी uncle is sitting.
Oh my God.
I was like, bro, you're done. You're out.
You're gonna get killed.
You're gonna be assassinated. देखो, I felt like ज़मीन फट जाए, मैं नीचे घुस जाऊँ, यहाँ पे रहना नहीं है. And मेरे start of my performance ये हुआ है. तो मेरा और 1 घंटा बाकी है परफॉर्म करने का, और मैं ये दिमाग में लेके, ये बर्प वाला चीज़ लेके मैं गा रहा हूँ, और सब गाने गलत गा रहा हूँ, लिरिक गड़बड़, म्यूजिक छूट रहा है, मतलब पूरा मतलब खिचड़ी हो गया वो पूरा. एंड जैसे ही मैं स्टेज से उतरा ना, आनंद जी अंकल्स वॉकड अप टू मी एंड ही लुक्ड एट मी डेड इन द आईज, टोल्ड मी, बेटा आप खाने आते हो या गाने आते हो?
Oh my God, hilarious. Okay, which is your favorite 90s song? And if
it's my dad's song, of course.
Sing a bit.
Yeah. And it's so I don't like my dad ka hit songs jitna I like his rare songs. And again, I mentioned this earlier. One of my favorites of 90s is तेरे दर पर सनम चले आए, तू ना आया तो हम चले आए. This is perhaps one of my
Favorite song.
top 5 in my dad's list. Yeah. 90s का ही है तो.
Lovely. What is your dream collaboration?
Dream collaboration. I would like to sing for Rahman sir once. That would be something that I can say that, I've done it in my lifetime. I've seen Rahman sir and I've sung for him. So I would love to sing for Rahman sir.
Lovely. No dream is too big to achieve. I think ये भी manifest आप कर ही लोगे.
Definitely. होना ही चाहिए because Rahman sir and he's heard me also by the way.
Acha?
I'm lucky enough to have had a few words of appreciation from Rahman sir as
Wow.
well. Yes, yes.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
Thank you, Jaan. I'm so happy. मतलब बहुत मजा आया मुझे आपके साथ ये शो करके.
Same here.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
For coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do more of this, such interviews soon. मैं चाहूँगी कि आप अपने next किसी अच्छे गाने के साथ आए यहाँ पे.
Yes, I hope so too.
Come with your guitar. Next time we're gonna have a jamming session here.
I'll do that next time for sure. And one thing I want to say,
Yes.
since you're a Bengali, खूब भाल लेगेছে আর খুব মজা এসেছে এই ইন্টারভিউতে।
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. My heart is so full. Thank you so much for being so appreciative of me. So this is me, Nandini Roy, now signing off. And this was Jaan Kumar Sanu. And he's an incredible guy and an incredible singer. Please show some love to him and follow him on YouTube channel. Thank you.